Hi, I'm Katie McElhinney with Remax Real Estate in Allentown, Pennsylvania, bringing you my latest edition of real estate information. Today, I'd like to talk about the parts of the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors Standard Agreement for the Sale of Real Estate, or as we often refer to it, the Agreement or AOS. And I'm warning you, this one is a little long, but I didn't want to break it up into two segments. You're getting the entire AOS in one sitting. A large majority of the AOS is standard verbiage that never gets changed, but the areas that are often changed or left blank for you to fill in are the parts of the agreement that help make it more enticing. You may think that the only part of the agreement that matters is the sales price, but there are, in my opinion, 10 parts of the AOS that can make an offer more or less appealing. The obvious one is the purchase price. The more money you offer, the more the seller is going to be interested. There isn't really a way around that. You don't want to offer too much money though, because you might have trouble with the appraisal, but this and really all parts of the agreement are where you really rely on your realtor for their expertise. If you can't offer close to the asking price, let me tell you about the other 9 areas of the agreement where you can make up for the price and make your offer just as appealing as a pricier one. Down money. You want to put down between 3.5% and 20% of the purchase price down on the house. It doesn't have to be all at once. It can be broken down into installments, with the last one occurring at settlement. I recommend to my clients to put down $1,000 for a $100,000 house or $5,000 for a higher priced house, and then as much as they are able to after inspections are complete. That gives you time to move money around or have a payday so that you can prove that you are serious about the house and you aren't just going to walk away. The more you put down, the more appealing and serious your offer looks. Seller assist. First, let me explain what that is. When you're buying a house, you're going to have closing costs. They include title insurance, various banking fees, and prorated taxes. This can be several $1,000s. Seller assist is when you mortgage these closing costs. It's more appealing to not ask for seller assist, because if you require $5,000 seller assist on a $100,000 house, the seller would only walk away with $95,000, and you know they want to walk away with as much as possible. So if you can include little to no seller assist with your offer, it'll look stronger and better. But if you need it to purchase the house, please ask for it. Settlement date. For most sellers, the sooner they can settle, the better. If you are getting a mortgage, this usually means 45 days minimum. But for some sellers, they may not be able to settle before a certain date or after a certain date, so being flexible in this could be crucial. Conclusions. Certain things come standard with the house. It's pretty much anything that is attached to the walls or floor, and all major mechanical systems like your furnace and water heater. For things like a refrigerator, washer, dryer, or curtains, the seller has to be willing to include them with the house. On the seller property disclosure, they will state what extra, non-required items they are including with the sale of the house. If you want more, you will have to negotiate for them. The mortgage lender. Please, please, please use a reputable mortgage lender. Don't use Joe's Mortgage Company. You want one with a good reputation. If you go with a more fly-by-night company, the seller is more likely to worry that you won't get your mortgage or that the lender won't release the money at settlement, and this is a big problem. So go with a major lender who has a bricks and mortar office, not someone internet-based only, even if it means that you might not be approved for as much money. It will save you a hassle in the long run, I promise. Mortgage commitment date. This is the date that the mortgage lender must say, yes, I am going to give you a mortgage. I usually require no less than 2 weeks before settlement. This is the last big hurdle to cross in buying or selling a house. Once you get the mortgage commitment letter from the lender, both sides know that the money will be released and that the sale and purchase will happen. The earlier you make the date, the safer the seller may feel. But check with your lender, because it does take a certain amount of time for them to be able to get you that letter, and you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you have to bump that date back. FHA or VA loans. These both require extra assessments by the government. For the seller, it could mean that they have to make more repairs, and that isn't as appealing to them. For the buyer, it means you could be getting a lower interest rate with less mortgage insurance, both good things. And for some people, the only way they can buy a house is by going one of these two routes. But if you can go conventional, do it. I've never seen this be a deal breaker, but it could make other areas of the agreement deal breakers, because the seller knows this could mean an added cost to them. Inspections. You can elect or waive inspections in the state of Pennsylvania. I tell all my clients to get a home inspection, but it isn't always required by the lender. All sellers should expect to see this on the AOS. For wood infestation, I recommend it if there is a lot of wood in the house or if it is an older house, but I always suggest getting on a plan with your local insect care and maintenance company to make sure you don't develop problems. Water service, not sewage inspections, I highly suggest if there is a well and septic on the property. If it is public water and sewer, I believe it is a waste of time and money. If you plan on spending a lot of time in the lowest level of the house, then a radon inspection might be a good option. But almost every house has radon, and once you know what your radon level is, you have to disclose it in the future when you sell your house. This is usually one that turns off sellers, but if they say no to the inspection, they look like they are trying to hide something. So for most instances, I suggest to my buyers to get a self-detection kit and do the test themselves once they move in and address any problems once they own the house. You must elect to do a property insurance because your mortgage lender will require that you get homeowners insurance. This is your chance to check with agencies to see if they will insure the property and if there have been any problems in the past that you should be aware of. If you're unsure of where the property boundaries are and it is crucial to whether or not you want the home, then do this inspection. If it is something that you'd like to know because you want to someday put up a fence, then do it once you own the house. If you're questioning the deed restrictions or zoning of the house, then you can elect this inspection. In some areas of the state it is pretty standard and in others it is unusual. And if the house was built before 1978, you can elect to do a lead-based paint inspection. Again, your selections of which of these to elect and which to waive will have a major impact on how good your offer looks to the seller. And lastly, the inspection contingency time frame. The standard time frame in which you need to do all the inspections that you elect to do is 10 days, but I normally change it to 15 to give both sides a little more time to do the inspections, get the responses from the inspectors, and come up with what you want done and will agree to do to fix any of the problems. Now, I know that was a lot of information, but that covers the areas of the agreement that are most negotiated and what you can change to make your offer look better or less appealing. As always, consult your realtor. They know what is best in your situation and can help guide you through this process. I've just told you what I generally say to most of my clients, but it changes with every deal. If you have more specific questions, message me and I can answer them, or consult a local realtor and they can help you out too. I hope you have a great week. Next time I'll start going into the seller side of a transaction and what they need to do. Take care.